Hey guys, here, aka Gene, and my apologies for a late upload again. This is going to be a video to summarize my recent video to do with the crew battle highlights and my thoughts on that. There was quite a lot of negative stuff that was said against Rockstar there, so I didn't want to leave it on that note. I wanted to get something positive out of it, and of course Bruffy had to say as well, so you should check that out, link in the description below for that. I'm pretty sure Bruffy would also make a video about this regarding the acknowledgement that Rockstar have shown for the racing community after the event. And because we should not leave it on negative terms, otherwise, a lot of people would see Rockstar as a bad sort of company, and that a lot of people think now. And I don't want that to be sort of the final take, I guess, from this event. So before we get into that, just wanted to explain this footage real quick. So this was the actual event that I was practicing for personally before Rockstar approached me and Bruffy for the actual crew event to take place on Rockstar stream. So this event here was an Apex Stalkers open crew event for any other crew, any other person that was interested in this sort of stuff. All you got to do is just sort of sign up to their forums, and if you wanted to take part, all you got to do is follow the rules and everything can go smoothly. It was basically a supercar endurance race, sort of like a multi-class endurance race with the Turismo, Vaca and the Cheetah. So there was 22 drivers in total participating, and we basically went through a qualifier phase on the same day before the event. And then whoever finished where with the quickest lap times will obviously start up high on the grid. So I finished 4th with the 4th quickest lap during the qualifier. So I started here 4th, you can see. So the race actually sort of took off here. It didn't really take off. This is sort of like a formation lap, everyone getting together. It's just getting the feel of the environment. And this was really well organized, funny to say actually. And everything was running smoothly. So far no disconnections, it's great. Just now approaching the hairpin before the first lap, you could say, before the race actually kicked off. Everyone's getting nicely together, nicely packed, and things was looking good. I wanted to get something positive out of this. Obviously, coming from the previous 24 hours, a lot of bad things were happening with DCs and connection issues and a very horrible event that took place beforehand. So, coming into this, obviously I couldn't expect much. In the back of my mind, I had the notion that someone was going to DC as usual. But guess what happened? It turned out to be me. It's quite coincidental because this usually never happens to me whenever I'm joining someone else's host. Fair enough, the person that I joined on this particular event, this is one of the first few times I've joined as him being the host. But the funny thing is, whenever I take part in NoDo's multi-class event, I'm the pace car. I'm having to sit there for 1.5 hours during the endurance race every single week, having to take shots and camera angles and whatnot for Bruffy's video to showcase the stream and the event itself from different perspectives. That always goes fine. I never seem to disconnect on that. Of course, a few people do end up disconnecting every single event, but it's quite unpredictable. But turns out after a Friday night's horrendous event with so many disconnection issues and connection issues, with all the complaints that we're providing, it just turns out I just disconnect randomly. Coincidentally. But hey, there's a lot of different speculations you can bring up here. It could be to do with my connection and the host, but we can sort of evidently see there's so many issues that ruin the experience for GTA Online. Oh, the worst thing is, it was such a great start to the race. I got a overtake on in the first lap, given the 41 laps in total. This was a 1 hour long endurance race. I take 3rd position now, and I see 2nd in sight. And we're approaching, I believe, 3rd or 2nd lap. And I can see the first place right there. And, reason why I've got the hood and radar turned off is because, at this point of GTA 5, I race every single day. So I'm at the point where I'm pretty confident to go consistently quick. And one thing that's obviously going to help me is having less distractions. So one thing nowadays is I'll turn off the hood and radar so I'll have those less distractions. Because psychologically speaking, when you're given the lap timer there on the bottom right, and sometimes you pay attention to that too much, you try to hot lap a little bit rather than actually pay attention to consistency. So it's important that when you're paying attention to the screen, you're paying attention to the car, you're paying attention to the position of your car, so you don't make stupid mistakes, completely screw up. So that's one thing that's helped me over the past few weeks anyway. And of course, a lot of the crew members that I play with, especially El Mister, he's taken part in this event, has of course influenced me in this direction as well. Of course, it comes down to people's experience and preferences. But anyway, point is, this was going to turn out to be a really awesome race, provided that these were quite a few quick races out there in this lobby, and it was one of those events where I actually spent time to prepare for beforehand, and this was actually my first official endurance race. So you have to take into consideration, remember, this is day after Rockstar stream as well. But the thing I'm going to take out from this, even regarding the disconnection that occurred, and my reaction afterwards was quite priceless. I didn't really say anything. I had a straight face. I was streaming this, and a lot of you guys were watching, and I was sitting there like, all right, so I just disconnected from an endurance race I prepared for many days, and now that happens. I don't know. I sort of saw the both sides to it, the funny side and the stupid side to it. I was quite angry, I was quite pissed off and frustrated, you could say, but I didn't show that. I didn't show that in the stream. I didn't sort of just throw my controller and rage. I just went downstairs and just sat down and watched a bit of TV, came back upstairs and just said, you know what, shit happens, fuck it, can't get mad over this shit. But, on that night, I was like, I was questioning humanity, like, what the fuck, it's just getting worse and worse. So, alright, that what's happened has happened. But one thing positive that came out of all of this is that Monday, I guess you could say yesterday, Rockstar responded to me and Bruffy. So here's how it went. Before the actual Friday night event occurred, 1.5 hours before the 9 PM GMT start of the stream, we were given time to organize people, get people into the lobby, get Rockstar guys added with the people that are participating, so we can get reserves and stuff like that. We had an extra half-an-hour window to discuss anything that we had to say to do with the racing community or to improve the game as a whole and to address any flaws or issues. So me and Bruffy were there in a Skype call with the community team that were taking part and obviously covering the event of the live stream. And they took a few points down, a few things that we just had to briefly explain, a few of the issues like curb boosts and stuff like that. And then off-road tires, kind of broken with the traction and stuff like that. So they did take a few pointers down. They are fully aware of the racing DLC. And the thing is, they did sort of had to stop us halfway through of explaining the few points, because obviously the event and the stream time was coming up to start the stream. So they said, you know what, this is all in quotes. We're quite curious to see what you have, to hear what you have to say to do with the feedback and issues with the game. So stay after the stream and the event so we can get into, stay in the Skype call and we can listen to further more feedback from you and Bruffy. So me and Bruffy. So this is essentially what we're excited for on the actual stream. Me and Bruffy were quite excited just regarding the entire event, obviously hoping to present actual racing, which was the main intention from us both, but that didn't work out. But at least we could expect a Skype call at the end, but that didn't work out because what happened was, I think some sort of disconnection occurred between one of the guys in the stream, in the Skype call, and the entire Skype call just went off and we never heard from them again. But then we sort of took into consideration, we had to sort of speculate amongst ourselves what actually happened, the possibility of a Skype call disconnection. That's a conspiracy, we don't know. It did sort of end weirdly though. There was awkward silence after the stream finished, after they said goodbye, expect Heist to come out in a few days, enjoy that. It was awkward silence. One of them, there was two people actually connected from the team. One was Rockstar London and one was Rockstar Games. Rockstar Games ended the Skype call and something happened, and Rockstar London was still there, but it was pitch silence. I'm giving you guys precise information here, right, of what we witnessed. After that, nothing was said and the entire Skype call ended. And so what I ended up doing, sort of just recapping for half an hour with Bruffy at the end, just sort of discussing how we felt, sort of trying to get somewhat of reality out of this. And then I personally had to then message one of the guys on the Skype that I had added and say, you know what, you guys promised us a Skype call at the end. Can you guys at least listen to the feedback we have to say either on Skype or email? Hoping for a response. Nothing happened on the day, so we gave it till Saturday. Still no response. However, Bruffy's email did get responded on Saturday regarding the feedback and issues, and the person that responded was the person that covered the stream and covers their sort of community with Twitter and social media sites, you could say the marketing team. One thing I do want to clarify is that the people that we're playing with, supposedly the devs, were not actually the developers who were sort of in charge of the actual game mechanics. So that's one thing we can get out of that. These guys were sort of the marketing team. These guys had no experience of the game whatsoever. They do have experience, but you could say they're casual players. They don't really take it as seriously as we do, you could say, with the detail and in-game mechanics. But they have learned quite a bit from that particular stream, so that's a positive sign. With that being said, the response that Bruffy got on Saturday after this event was good as well. They have acknowledged the racing DLC. They have taken the notes down, and actually confirmed they've taken notes down, because they actually did repeat everything that they said and stated on the Skype call in the email. So it wasn't like, you know, they said, okay, we're taking this down now, and we just have to sort of say, we hope they took it down, or not just took us for a joke. So one thing we can say, they never actually took us for a joke. They actually did note the stuff that me and Bruffy said back to them. So that's something good, I guess you could say. But the only issue is now is that with the confirmation acknowledgement of them, sort of saying, yes, look, we've received the feedback, it's great. The only issue is that we have to hope for the community team to then process that information across to the developers and not just set it to the side and let it sink. That is the only issue. We just have to hope now and speculate, whether or not this has actually happened, or they're just going to, like I said, just leave it to the side. So that's the one thing. So at least we can say is the positive side of this is that, look, they've acknowledged the issues and the feedback. They know the connection issues are there. They know the racing DLC posts are there. They know exactly what is going on and what we expect. And they know exactly now that there's a curb boost issue as well, which they never knew about, until we mentioned it. Although there was already a petition in the past to do with the curb boost, but it seems like that didn't go through at all. So it's quite interesting, we did learn quite a bit that day. And look, this right there, after all of that ends up happening, I do end up disconnecting, or something connection to the last session got lost due to the unknown error. And I've never really seemed to have received that message in the past before, but now it's coincidentally happened. But look, the email response that Bruffy got to Monday, after him sending the email on Saturday, giving the response, look, it says, thanks Bruffy, we have already flagged the curb boost issue for the development team, and we'll let them know about your other suggestions, which is great, including the possibility of raising crew limits. Okay. As our moderator mentioned on Skype before the stream started, we are fully aware of the racing DLC idea from the support ticket. You have opened your YouTube videos and discussions on Reddit, and of course about the idea. And thanks for all the detailed feedback. Let's stay in touch. All the best, Rockstar communities team. That was the final email that we received. Bruffy received, of course. And my response on Skype that I've received from them is quite straightforward. Yo, Shaggy, sorry we didn't see this sooner. We generally use Skype only when they're actively running the stream. Bruffy emailed us over the weekend, and we responded today letting him know to definitely send across your list of issues to report. We'd be happy to take a look and relay them to the dev team. Thanks. So we both received the confirmation from them, so that's great. We didn't feel ignored. That's one thing that we got out of the way. Now, what I'm thinking is this is my personal point of view, as what I would sort of speculate now is that this could be just another one of those posts that you send, via email to the support team, like, whenever you get the automated email through Twitter, whenever you want to address an issue or an idea. That email that we usually send but you receive nothing out of is sort of like a hopeful email. That could be the possibility of this. But the good thing out of this is that we personally had direct, contact with them, rather than going through the process of what the public go through. And so we can take this as a privilege and advantage, and take it as a positive note, and hope that this does go across, and not just, like I said, leaving it to the side and completely forgetting about the issues that Bruffy, hopefully, I'm sure he did send a quite full detailed issue and feedback ideas of everything. So like I said, people, let's take this as a positive thing, and let's not give up on GTA just yet, and let's just say we've done something together as a community, and like I said, I was extremely frustrated Saturday night and Friday night, and Sunday I wasn't sure exactly what I was going to do. And so, I made a video about that regarding my sort of take on the highlights. Quite frustrated. Monday, left this video too late. So now is what? It's Tuesday now. We should be expecting the high life deal. Not high life. What the fuck? Heist. I'm extremely tired right now. It's 1 a.m. So Heist DLCs should be coming out quite soon. So I'll be making a video about that, the new cars, and of course trying to do a YouTube live stream as well. So like I said, people, just to quickly summarize, I don't want you guys to think negatively about the company. I want you guys to see, or all sides of it. Be a little bit open-minded, I guess. Even from my point of view, I need to stop thinking negatively as well, and really just think about all sides of it. And like I said, all we can do now is just hope, really just hope that everything gets sent across to the right people. As we know, Rockstar is a huge game. They've got studios all over the world, and we just only managed to get attention of one side of that massive company. So hopefully these guys have the sympathy or the consideration of the community that exists right in front of their eyes, which they've evidently seen through the stream, so they can take that seriously and take it on to the other level that we're hoping for. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. This is a video to clarify that, and hopefully you guys can share the equal frustration that I've gone through, but at the same time just be a little bit positive about the situation as well. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Show you sign out. Good night, peace. Yeah. Right, ladies and gentlemen, so I've taken my time out to make this video to clarify exactly what happened Friday night, and to give you guys sort of the reality of what exactly happened.